Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another Brisk Heat Tech Talk. My name is Thomas, and I lead the tech support team here at Brisk Heat, Columbus, Ohio. Today, we'll be continuing the temperature controller series with this session specifically on the TTD outdoor use digital on-off temperature controller. Go over the agenda real quick. Now, I've switched some things up based on some feedback I've gotten back from you guys, a few of you guys, from previous tech talks. I've added a couple things. So the agenda today, we'll go over our product overview. This is one of the things I added was the application examples. Some of you guys wanted a couple examples of how to use the product, where to use it. From there, we're going to go over kit's contents, what's included, what is not. Next will be installation. I'll go over how to mount these things and how to wire the plug for the outputs. From there, we're going to adjust some settings. And this is one more thing I added. There's a couple short 30-second or a minute videos in here just showing me pushing buttons, showing you guys, letting you guys see how to physically change the set point or change the deviation alarm. So that's just, again, another thing I added. From there, we're going to do a quick Q&A session. If you guys have any questions at that time, go ahead and throw them in the chat, and I'll answer them audibly. And last, we'll wrap it up from there. Product overview. So these TTDs were designed for indoor and outdoor use. In ordinary location applications. They have a 15 amp max capacity. Temperature units, you can purchase it to display in either Fahrenheit or Celsius. It takes a K-type thermocouple. It has a receptacle for a mini plug or a standard. A side note, the K-type thermocouple is not included with the purchase of this controller. You guys will have to pick one up yourselves. Again, it's suitable for outdoor use, but it must be mounted vertically. They have 3 temperature range choices for you guys to choose from, with the highest temperature achieving, controlled temperature achieving 999 degrees. That's either Fahrenheit or Celsius. Input power cord is 6 feet in length. The plug on the end of that power cord for 120 volt, it's a NEMA 515 3-prong. For 240 volt, that's a NEMA 615. Output receptacle, this is a little different than what you guys are used to. It's an IP67 4-pin, and we use that for just to help with the outdoor use, just to make sure that it keeps away the moisture and everything. It's a good solid plug and receptacle. But don't fret, the mating plug assembly is included with the purchase of this controller, and we're going to go over how to wire it in this tech talk as well. Couple applications examples. The first one, we have a couple customers that have foam spray insulation rigs, and they came with this needing a solution. They needed their hose heated from their rigs that carry the foam all the way to the end of their gun, so they can spray it, just like this gentleman is doing in the image on the right. So our solution was we came up with a heat tape, some cable, wrapped it around their hose, insulated it, and we used this TTD temperature controller to maintain the temperatures needed for that application. So again, that's just one application example. Another one is, this one's in-house. This is something we do. It's a kit we put together, an all-inclusive. It's a TTH silicone IBC tote tank heater. So as you can see on the image on the right, it's got an orange foam insulated heater that plugs directly into the TTD controller that's hanging on the IBC cage up there at the top of the picture. That kit comes all inclusive. Like I said, plug and play. It comes with a thermocouple included. But again, another example of how you can use it. These guys are pretty rugged, and that's not very common for a digital controller. And again, guys, tons more applications that these can be used on. Let's go over the contents real quick. So what's included? The controller, obviously, the instruction manual. There's 4 mounting feet that's included, as well as 4 mounting screws for the mounting the feet on the back of the controller's enclosure. There's a mounting bracket. It's actually the one we use on that IBC toe take example I showed you on the previous slide. And also the assembly for the IP67 4-pin plug for your power output. All that is included. Again, what is not included is that K-type thermocouple. And one more time, I have to repeat myself. You guys are responsible for supplying your own with a mini or standard plug attached. So mounting the 4 feet. On the back of the enclosure, back of the controller, there are 4 holes that you just screw those screws in with the feet on the back. You can see the picture on the top. I have 3 of them in. Picture on the bottom is showing me installing that last foot. That's just one way that you can do it. There's another way here, like I showed you guys for that IBC toe tank application. We have a mounting bracket as well. So if you want to hang it off a rail of some sort, you're able. Picture on the left shows the rail or the bracket included or installed. The picture on the right shows I took the bottom feet off of the enclosure and just left the 2 feet on there to install that hanging bracket. So 2 options there for installation. Let's talk about that IP67 4-pin plug that meets your receptacle for the power output on the side of this thing. So as you can see here in the illustration, there are 4 pieces. There's actually 5 pieces. There's 2 rubber grommets, 2 sizes for you guys to choose from. Choose the best one that fits your cord set, slide it on. That's the order it goes in. It goes the cap, the grommet, then the tension relief, and all that screws into the actual plug itself, the 4-pin plug. Here are the pin assignments. You can see the picture on the right. It's got a little red arrow pointing to a screw. Now there's 4 of those screws. Those are your set screws that hold your wires in place. 3 millimeter is what I had to use to attach mine. 3 millimeter or smaller. So a diagram on the left, as you can see, pin number 1 for 120 volt and pin number 2 also for 120 volt. And of course, the pin up here is your ground. So green here, your other 2 lead wires are going here. For 240 volt, obviously number 1 and number 3. And again, your green goes here in the ground. This is in the instruction manual as well, guys. Not just here. Everything I'm telling you is in the instruction manual. I try to break it down a little farther. So once you get your wires into the plug itself, what you do is you just start assembling the assembly there, the kit. After you put everything together, that's what it looks like, that picture down there on the bottom. And it's showing in the picture where it's going into the side of the controller in the output receptacle. let's talk about that thermocouple. I mentioned before that you have two options as far as a thermocouple plug. You can see here, you have a plug or a receptacle for a mini. And over here, you have receptacle for a standard. Again, not included. Thermocouple is not included with this purchase of this product. What I wanted to show you down here is that when you have one plugged in, there's no room to put another one in. So if you use the standard plug, there's no room to put a mini in, or if you use the mini plug, there's no room to put a standard in. So only one thermocouple you'll only be able to use one thermocouple at a time. All right, so I have an illustration or an image, excuse me, of the control module showing the display, the set buttons, all three buttons you're going to need to adjust your parameters. Very simple controller, easy to use, easy to manipulate. I really like this controller. So let's adjust our set point, guys. And again, these instructions are in the instruction manual. So this isn't, if you don't see it here, you won't get it. It's in your manuals. So the set point is the only parameter that you guys can access without the code protection code. There's a code, it's 118, that's the code. And again, that's in your manual. But if say your operator does not have that code, the only thing they can adjust would be the set point. So to adjust our set point, what we're going to do is we are going to press set one time, and the SP will appear on the screen. From there, we're going to press set again, and that'll show us the actual set point, the actual set value, what it is currently. From there, we'll be able to adjust it if we want to, using the up and down arrows. After you change any value, in order it to be saved, you have got to press set again. Or like I said, it won't be saved and you'll be spinning your wheels. From there, you have two options to get out of the programming screen. You can either wait a minute and let it go back automatically, or you can simultaneously press the set and down button at the same time. Okay, so let's watch this video real quick while So what I did, obviously, I turned the power on the unit. It showed me what units they were displayed. This one's in Fahrenheit. From there, I pressed set one time, and I got to SP. I pressed set again, and saw the value. I used the up and down arrows to change the value, this actual set point, to wherever I wanted it, and then I press set again to save that value. Lastly, I simultaneously pressed set and down arrow button to go back to the operating screen and exit the parameter changing screen. Pretty simple, guys. Let's change our alarm. So in order to go into the alarm section, it's a code protected parameter is what it is. So we have to have that code I was telling you guys about earlier, the 118. So this video is going to show you two things. It's going to show you how to change your deviation alarm set point, and it's also going to show you guys how to get into the rest of the code protected parameters at the same time. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to hold the set button down for 8 seconds. Now I say 8 seconds. Customers hold it for 8 seconds. Everybody counts a little faster than somebody else, and then they pull their finger off, and then they see SP. Well, you didn't hold it long enough. You have to go back out, press the set and the down arrow again, go back to the home screen and try it again. So you want to press set for 8 seconds, roughly, well, until you see the value of 0 appear on the screen, okay? From there, you're going to use the up arrow and adjust the value to 118, and press set. You will then see SP on the screen again. But from there, you're currently in the protected parameter section. So next, we're going to move use the up and down arrows to get to the parameter we want to change. And again, in this video, we're going to change the deviation high alarm set point or value. From there, we're going to do just like we did with the changing our set point. We're going to press set to see what the current value of the alarm is, and to change it. To change it, we're going to use the up and down arrows. To save that change in value, we're going to press set. From there, after you're done changing all the parameters you want to change in that program protected parameter mode, you're going to press the set and down arrows simultaneously to get out of the programming screen. So let's watch this video. So here, you're going to see me make the mistake that I get a lot of phone calls on, and I hold it down for 8 seconds, but I did not let the 0 pop up. So I have to start over. I press the set and down arrow simultaneously to go back to the home screen, and I start over. Now I'm holding that set button until the 0 pops up on the screen. Now I can adjust it to 118. If you hold the button down, you can see it starts going rapidly. It can run away from you pretty quick, so you got to be watching. 118. From there, you hit set. You see set point, but now you're able to go to those protected parameters. All of those protected parameters are described in the instruction manual. I didn't want to break it all down here, pretty lengthy, but A1 is your deviation high alarm parameter. So I changed it from the value of 3, rose it up to 10. From there, I got out of the parameters screen and pressed the set and down arrow. So now I'm going to raise up the set point again. I want you to see the output indicator light. It's a little red light under the word out. It's right there at the top left corner of that 7. That little red indicator light means that the controller itself is producing power to the output, which means your heater should be heating at this time. So when the temperature, your process value, when the K-type thermocouple is reading temperatures below set point, that little red dot should be on. When that thermocouple is reading temperatures above set point, the little red light should be off. That's simple. All right, I'm going to go ahead and open it up to you guys. If you have any questions, again, feel free to throw them up on chat, and I'll answer them audibly. Okay, good question. For the K-type thermocouple, does BriskHeat sell those, and which is better, the standard or the mini? So BriskHeat, yes, we sell those thermocouples, and we sell them with minis on them. And as far as what's better, as far as I know, there's not one that's better than the other. It's customer preference, or it could be which is easier and more accessible for you guys to get. Good question. What are the different temperature values or temperature ranges available? Oh, that's a good question. We have one that goes from 32 to 175. We've got one that goes from 200 to 500, and we have one that goes from 32 up to 999. Good question, by the way. What are the approvals available on this? So there are none. There's no approvals on this particular controller. That's why I said at the beginning that it's It was designed for ordinary applications. No approvals whatsoever, guys. What happens when the thermocouple breaks? Is there an alarm? Yes, there is. It's called a sensor break alarm. And you guys can actually test this out. You'll hear it. When you get your unit and you turn it on for the first time, don't have a thermocouple plugged into it. You'll hear it audibly alarm, and you'll see a display on the screen as well. Plug that thing in and plug the thermocouple back in the receptacle, and the alarm will go away. So great questions, guys. Any other questions for me? We got time for a couple more if you have them. Nice. Good. Great question. K-type thermocouple receptacle is a standard one, not water resistant. Will this be an issue if the area is really humid? So that is why, and you're correct. I understand this controller needs to be mounted vertically. That is why it needs to be mounted vertically, because those are not watertight receptacles. But great question. Time for one more, guys. Going once. All right. Let's go ahead and wrap it up. Great questions, guys. Thank you for them. So I'm leaving my contact information here on the screen. If you guys have any questions about this product or any of our other products, feel free to reach out to me at techsupport@briskheat.com. I wanted to let you guys know as well that I send out a short survey to all the attendees. That way I get a feel for what's going on, if I've missed something, or if you guys want to see a little more in depth about, I don't know, installation, operation, or you don't like my images, whatever the case may be. Feedback is key for these things, so I can make sure that I am connecting with you guys. So if you guys would do me that favor, I would be extremely grateful. Thank you for attending. And also, just to let you know, next month Tech Talk, we're going to be doing it live on YouTube. So stay tuned for that, guys. Thanks again for watching, and we hope to see you next time.